Mr. Burns is on that boat. Hey.
Smithers, implode this submarine now!
Sir, I wouldn't be doing that.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, we're all alone in the submarine together.
I sense some sexual undertones. Hey! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bad Take Delete podcast. It's, we're still moving, we're still schmoving, my neck just clipped out. That's gonna be a fucking injury.
I can't believe
it.
But,
yeah, I'm bleeding internally. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. How's everyone doing? You're not gonna answer me because you're not really here. It's all in my head.
Yeah,
Daft,
it's like
how
all
you
in
doing,
Jimmy's
man?
head. Remember that Cartoon Network show?
Don't get me started on that show, dude. I had that. I still have the theme song in my head.
No need to get. No, I always like when people say like, "Don't get me started." I'm like, okay, and we talk about something else, and they're like, "But I want to talk about
it a little bit." Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit.
No, it's like those. You ever seen the horror films where it's a tape on the ground
films
where it's like, "Do not watch," and then you go, "Oh, okay."
Reverse psychology, not me, bitch. That ain't gonna work.
It's in the recent Amanda the Adventure game, the demo of the game specifically has people saying don't watch the tapes, burn the tapes and everything, and it's like, that happened to me once. No, seriously. When I used to take the train to go to college and whatnot, I found a CD on the ground and it said do not watch, and I said okay, and I broke it in half and threw it away.
Smart man. You probably saved yourself from like an eldritch curse of like 50 years of bad luck.
Well, there's also a Reliance Tech Tips video I saw where
Yeah.
you can find random cables on the ground that steal your data. But when he went more into it, it's like, don't be that paranoid. Don't be narcissistic. They're trying to go after one specific person. You, really, just some random guy, because your data gets stolen every day. Did you know that? Every day.
This would have been a great segue to an ad read.
Yeah, no, we're not sponsored currently. If anyone wants to sponsor us, why would you? We don't have enough subscribers yet. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's not a good financial decision. But if you want to still just throw money in the wind, fuck it, do it here.
It's kind of like when Superman was pitching Peanutbutter. You remember that?
Oh god, you just showed me that a second ago. That was nostalgic because I saw that years ago. Not obviously when it fucking came out, but
The 80s, the 70s,
yeah,
the 60s.
I popped in for a second, popped right out. Yeah, that commercial fucking rocks, dude. Like, I'm guessing it's playing in the background or pixelated.
It's
or
the
some shit,
foreground.
right?
Actually, we don't
Foreground.
know. Sometimes I have to pixelate and sometimes I don't. It's weird. We've avoided copyright for so long because of some blurrings.
Yeah, it's in the background. Now it's in the foreground. Now I'm in the foreground. Now I'm in the background, making Daft's life so much better
It's a lot
for
of
editing.
fucking editing. But for the Superman peanut butter commercial, it's wonderfully animated. Let's actually get into it. So Lex Luthor traps Superman, and there's some kids watching him going, "Oh, look, Superman! He's being hurt by kryptonite." They don't fucking help him at all. They're just kind of like watching, going like, interesting. And Lex is just creaming himself over this peanut butter. So much so, I wanted to try it. Like, really.
It was a good advertisement. God, I've never seen anyone just open a fucking jar of peanut butter and just put a cracker in it like an asshole.
Yeah, you always gotta
That's a
scoop that
true
shit
villain.
out, you know?
That's a true villain, dude.
And so for the commercial, instead of animating the peanut butter, it's not PNGs back then, it's celluloid. They have a celluloid of like a photographic colorized version of the actual thing. And it's like, it's so uncanny because they have to show it in shot. So Lex has to hold it a specific way so it's always in camera view.
Yeah, it just stands out like more than anything. And fucking, I love that they're in the famous Lex Luthor fucking subway.
The sex dungeon.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire in most. Was he a billionaire in the 80s? In the 80s?
Yeah. He's always been.
He's
always been a billionaire.
Does Superman have trademarks? Is this someone else licensing? Why doesn't Lex just buy the trademark or buy the formula?
That's actually a fucking storyline in the Spider-Man comics, where Kingpin buys the rights to merchandising Spider-Man and just starts selling like all these T-shirts and toys to fuck with his image.
That's extreme. That's very funny. You know what isn't funny?
Someone thought of it. What isn't?
Just kidding. It's a little funny. We can talk about Oceangate. You want to talk about that?
That's a fun transition. Superman could have been helping that one.
No, he would have watched and went, haha, Aquaman, come on, let's take a look. What are they doing down there?
Oh my god. So the story for people that are listening to this, way out past when this is a relevant news story, which is also something to talk about.
Just 5 minutes from what happened, like the ending.
Yeah. So these guys went in this fucking shoddy little submarine with this guy who's famously known for just saying fuck safety precautions, right? And it's
not only that, they fired the guy a year ago who said this hole, like this little machine, can't go below certain depth.
Yeah. The red flags were there, and as soon as this all happened, immediately people pointed out how ironic and unfortunately it could have been avoided if this guy just listened to fucking common sense, but he didn't.
And so there's a couple people who spent $250,000 each to go take a look at the submarine. Take a look at the Titanic wreckage, and it's like James Cameron already did that with like very nice cameras. Just go look at that footage.
Yeah, he commented on it actually. He just recently put out a comment saying how like
They're very
the
stupid,
parallels
very
between
dum-dums.
this and the the parallel between this and the actual Titanic is kind of funny. He's like, it's just 2 times people have flown or swam a ship out there with ice and not listened to the warnings.
Yeah, because for the Titanic, and I actually saw a video to see how far it actually is down. It is kind of a sense of they lost communication, and apparently the journalist or the reporter that was talking about that was watching them didn't immediately tell people. They're like, oh yeah, the submarine just loses connection all the time. And it's like, huh?
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
And
I will say that while it's definitely something funny to joke about a little bit, it's obviously there's some irony in there. I can't pretend that there isn't. And I'm not a saint. I've made plenty of jokes about plenty of terrible things. But did you see on Twitter there were people fucking talking about how knowing that those bastards drowned in the sea, that 19-year-old kid that put a smile on their face?
I think because the child, man, grown man, adult, guy, using all the adjectives. I think it was because they're all rich. I think it was just because of that, and how comical the situation it was using a Logitech controller. The 20-year-old design.
Yeah, no, I know there's a lot of fucking goofy details about it, but I think it's one thing to find the humor in it, but there are people genuinely celebrating it. And out of all the people, again, that kid was just dragged on by his dad. He didn't fucking do anything wrong.
At least for that kid, definitely so. It is very sad that his life was cut short, but then also literally all the circumstances could have been avoided if they listened to safety precautions, if they had better connection to the whole and everything. However, we actually saw, supposedly, of course we have to say supposedly because they still need to find the wreckage, they died within 30 milliseconds. They felt virtually no pain when they died. The immense heat and the immense pressure below the sea level, very, very below the sea level, crushed them in an instant. But I think a lot of people are joyful about this because it showed the hubris of these billionaires and millionaires going hey, this is literally what happens. You ignore safety precautions. But also, if you wrote a story about this, most people wouldn't believe it, especially with one of the billionaire's stepson, I believe who it was, went to a Blink-182 concert and then started to harass women online for pussy.
I saw that. That was the funniest fucking thing. He put it on Facebook saying I don't know, I know this is an unfortunate time, but my family would be happy to know I was here. It's holy shit, dude. They're fucking missing. They're on the news. There's a fucking...
Okay, well, think of it this way. Do you like Blink-182?
I'm not indifferent to them.
If you had tickets and you hadn't seen them in a while or ever, would you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I kind of have to.
But then we found out that guy's a stalker.
Yep. Always something bad.
And a little racist. One of his... So someone got a restraining order against him legally. And it's oh, damn, I hope that inheritance check really was worth it, I guess. Maybe he knew about the safety precautions, and he's like, you know what, Dad? You got this. You're fine. You can handle this by yourself.
Fuck me.
Because he was way too happy. You know what I mean? He's way too happy on Twitter, way too happy with everyone. And I guess he was just beefing with random people like Cardi B. Leave her alone. She's busy making music.
What?
Yeah,
he was beefing
with a lot of people. But oh well.
I mean, hey, 15 seconds of fame, dude.
Speaking of not a good transition, so the streaming platform Kick. Okay, so there are 3 streaming platforms essentially. There's YouTube, cool. There's Twitch, cool, and Kick, not cool. And so XQC signed a very big deal to. It's not a exclusive streaming rights. He can still do Twitch, he can still do YouTube, whatever. And one of the first things he did was watch The Dark Knight, mostly in silence.
Oh my god. I mean, that's cool. Good for him.
It's a good movie.
Fuck it.
They had to take down the stream immediately because of copyright issues. And in order to subvert copyright for the next stream, he decided to watch Breaking Bad.
Good for him. I mean, that's what I would do if I got fucking $100 million, which actually he didn't get $100 million. Do you know that?
How much did he actually get?
No, well, we don't know how much he got, but a percentile of what he earned in royalties. So long as the brand does well, he'll make money. But if Kick doesn't, succeed, he's not getting his full $100 million.
For Kick as a platform, just going as a financial basis perspective, it started off as a gambling platform. When Twitch banned gambling, that's all it really was. And now they're spending a lot of money on these streamers to stream there. Now, if you remember, Mixer, which is owned by Microsoft, it was doing pretty good. They signed one of the biggest deals in gamer history, I guess, signing over Ninja.
Oh yeah, with fucking Ninja.
But the issue with platforms like this is that they essentially lose money. YouTube is losing money for Google. They just do it because of ad revenue. They do it because of, selling their phones, selling products and everything. It's just a failing business, indefinitely. And so is Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But Kick doesn't have that kind of backing unless you count crypto or gambling winnings. And once they signed XQC and this other person, I think it was Amaranth, I think that was the streamer's name, their servers crashed because they had too many people. That is impressive that you got a bunch of people, assuming they're not bots. We'll get into that later. But also, you should probably invest some of your infrastructure with that money. You get a good platform.
Yeah, I don't see Kick lasting another year or two more. It's a fad at the moment. It's popular, and I'm glad that they're putting a little fire under Twitch's ass, because now they're starting to roll out all this shit that they were supposed to roll out years ago. Like now they're putting fucking like 18 plus tags on videos of people just wearing like a fucking piece of tape over their tits.
Well, do you remember Storyfire?
Yeah, embarrassing story about that one.
Oh, look, I just went to the Storyfire website. Apparently, it's still up. So Storyfire never had a chance. It just kind of didn't, for a lot of reasons. But it's only unless a big corporation starts a new company or starts a new subdivision, like how Instagram is working on their own version of Twitter. Like, I'm still waiting on my Blue Sky invitation. If you remember Blue Sky.
That's Instagram?
No. Blue Sky is made by one of the co-founders of Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Jack Dorsey, which is essentially just Twitter. But the issue is, we also had this with Mastodon. And I usually compare Mastodon with Linux in terms of you have to do a lot of stupid shit to make it work properly. And it's like, most people just want to use a Twitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But more important is, just kidding, you go first.
Fuck. Let me think of something to transition from that.
Transition. What do you think we're going to transition to is the real question.
Speaking of big brands buying up fucking, services, let's talk about Smosh, because I am very excited about that.
So Ian Anthony started a channel way back in 2005, and I started watching them in around 2006 or 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out way later they sold their company to some conglomerate, some whatever. And they eventually...
Delphi Media.
What was it called again?
I think it's Delphi Media.
Delphi Media. They went under, then Good Mythical Morning bought it, and during this time, Anthony left.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to start his own thing, and I remember checking back every once in a while on the Smosh channel, and it's like, who are these people? I don't really find this funny. Why are these videos 20 minutes long? The skit going on for 20 minutes, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, as soon as to be fair, I wasn't necessarily watching Smosh like a lot when I was in high school, but especially in grade school and maybe even the beginning of high school, I was super into those fuckers, right?
Yeah.
They were the shit, dude. Back then, what is it? They were like one of the first channels to hit 1 million, if not the first channel to hit 1 million.
I think the first channel was Fred.
Yeah, they got surpassed.
But as a duo, or as a comedy skit group, not only were they influential, they ushered a new era of content creation. With their food battles, voting system, and really utilizing the platform. And with Ian and Anthony forming together to buy it back from Good Mythical Morning, that'll usher in a new way for the channel. Which is interesting.
I can't wait, because the big thing that they're promoting is that they're going to be writing and starring in both. So what is it? Anthony said straight up it's going to be old school Smosh. Which look, I'm not going to be clapping and kicking my feet like a true fan, but I am.
Well, old school is relative.
So nostalgic.
Like when we were watching Clone High, it's going to be rebooted some way.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same.
I'm happy for creators like Ian and Anthony, because it shows YouTube as a platform can be long form. Because Ian and Anthony are both 35, and they're still going to continue this for 5 years, 10 years, still creating stuff. Still having fun with this. It's much in the case of Nostalgia Critic and AVGN being in their 40s, still creating content, still creating.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing this podcast till we're 50. I thought we agreed.
Yeah, exactly. It's in our contract.
You need to sign like a 30-year contract.
It's interesting that I even got you to sign it, because I was just like, hey, can you look over this? And you just signed it immediately without reading it. I don't know why you did that.
You had the 22 snub, against my back.
They actually don't account for that in Texas. In Texas, if you have a gun behind someone's back and you legally sign something, it's still legally binding. Like, you could just not signed it and you get shot like a real man.
Sounds like Texas. Speaking of Smosh, though, the reason I'm most excited about it is recently, to celebrate that they did this, me and a couple friends got on a call and we watched the Smosh food battles from the beginning to the end.
Oh god.
And let me tell you this:
shit.
if you haven't even seen, you can watch them and they're nostalgic, right? And they're, some of them have some good bits here and then, like genuinely funny jokes. They are fucking true time capsules, all right?
Yeah.
Because they're by year, and you can find one, watch whatever year it is, and it is like the personification of that year. In the last one they did in 2016, there's a bit where it's like, you know, the food battle. They have to see which, you know, they pick a random item and see what food is better at that. One of them was which food could be a better dabbing Harambe.
Was that 2016?
Yes. And then
they still made them in 2016?
It's the last one they did.
Oh, okay.
It's the last one they did. It's dabbing Harambe, and then the meme police with the frog on the fucking unicycle on the badge comes in, and they say, "Damn, Daniel!" And like the friends watching this, I was close to suicide. This was like I'm actually surprised I'm still here. I had to call the hotline. It's a time capsule. It's like it's really fascinating to watch.
Nostalgic for kids like 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future. I remember when they dabbed. I remember when they did the Harambe in 2016. I was like a wee little 6-year-old, 7-year-old.
Dude, in like 10 years, like the dabbing and dabbing and Harambe are both gonna be like underground memes. Like gonna be like you're not old school unless you dabbed on Harambe, dude.
One day in the future, you hear someone say like, "Oh, you listen to Post Malone, the old school rapper, the old school hip hop artist?" And he's like, "Huh? Oh, yeah."
Dude, there's a chance that some guy who posted like on his Twitter that video of the fucking Toy Story characters flying into the Twin Towers is gonna be president one day.
But you know what's
like,
even better than being president?
Speaking. No, what?
Playing Mario.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Obama, I'm sure Trump, I'm sure every president would be like, "I'd rather be playing Super Mario Brothers than being president."
You've done like a Trump voice every video so far, like in a row.
Okay, I can do an Obama one. I want to play Super Mario Wonder. After seeing the direct, it's pretty cool. Michelle, you can play Toad.
Dude, this is 2016 time capsule humor right here.
Oh yeah, it just keeps happening. We just revert it anyway. So there's a Nintendo Direct, very surprising. I didn't watch it live because it was at like 8 a.m. or something. I was asleep. Did you watch it live?
I didn't see. No, I didn't even know it was actually happening. I only found out because I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a random post about fucking Super Mario RPG. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's like a fan thing. And it's like an actual fucking game. It blew my brains, dude.
Yeah, I remember on Twitter I saw this thumbnail for a video where it's like, Nintendo's forgotten about Super Mario RPG. And it's like, I guess you gotta delete that video now, bitch.
Yeah, because they didn't just forget it. They fucking remade it from the ground up. It looks really good. I'm really hopeful to play it because, like, admittedly, my history with that game is I didn't play it when I was younger.
You experienced it.
Yeah, I experienced it through a YouTube series that one or two people, hopefully listening to this, remember or even know exist. It was called Family Guy RPG. And what these guys did, and I'll be honest, they were fucking spot on impressions. They just went over clips of the game and created bits using the Family Guy voices.
Can you do a Family Guy voice?
No, I can't.
Try Peter.
No. That's it. I can't.
Remember the time I played Super Mario RPG?
Remember that time? Oh, remember that time that I played Super Mario RPG? Yeah.
Peter,
that's crazy.
You didn't ever had that game growing up. It's me, Brian Griffin.
Peter fucking just grabs his head and puts his thumbs in his eyes.
Ooh. Daddy,
chicken fight!
Why are you doing that to me, my friend Brian?
What was that?
Stewie.
That's Stewie?
Peter.
You sound like Stewie clinging onto his life, like keeping his head upright, like it's halfway cut off.
Peter, my great dad. I'm somehow older than you in this skit scenario. It's my baby Stewie. I can't believe he's dying.
Brian, I'm melting, Brian. I'm melting into a little pool of Stewie.
I could do more of a Homer.
Oh, Homer's fun.
You could do a Homer right now. Do a Homer.
Marge, I'm trying to play Super Mario RPG. I keep getting my dick stuck in the SNES.
Marge, they found the submarine, Marge.
They found the submarine?
They imploded, Marge.
Oh no!
Krugga-dunga, dude.
You're fucking insane. You're a sick fuck, man.
Marge, Mr. Burns is on that boat. Hey.
Smithers, implode this submarine now.
Sir, I wouldn't be doing that.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, we're all alone in the submarine together.
I sense some sexual undertones. Oh, that's just a fat guy.
There's sexual overtones, sir.
I said undertones, and now I'm in the foreground. Now I'm in the background, editing again.
Oh no.
Marge, they keep making the editing hard.
The people watching this are just staring with a blank face.
It's even better if just listening to this like on the second screen, and not even if you're watching on a second screen, go back, rewind this, go blah, 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 and then watch the visuals of it.
Go fucking Welcome back to the Schizophrenic Podcast.
Oh, speaking of that exactly. Secret Invasion, you know, the Marvel series, used AI art in the intro.
It looks so ass.
But before we get into that, let's take a break. Okay, eat some peanut butter from Superman.
What do you mean a break? No, the walls are closing in. The walls are closing in. Everything's fading.
And we're back. You ready to talk about this thing? Oh yeah, you were trapped in a wall and died immediately, but then came back because you had one more life. But you ready to talk about this thing right now?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
So it's a two-tone thing. AI art for at least the US is not copyrightable because a machine made it, which means that you can take any of those images, export it, put it on a shirt, sell it, NFT, make it an NFT if you want. Disney can't go after you because it's AI. So it's like, I know why they did it because they hate artists, but I know the contextual reason why they did it is because if you remember, scrolls can shapeshift, and AI art is not really human, so they're trying to emulate you. But they could just hire artists. They could just got real people for that,
Yeah, it's like they see all the complaints of people saying like, "Hey, you gotta fucking raise the pay of your editors, guys," and they're like, "All right, I'm just gonna grab a Mac computer and just make it up myself. Fuck it, that'll solve the issue."
And what's funny about this is the fact that this is why writers and actors are striking because of AI.
Yeah.
And this means it's going to strike harder, strike worse with rocks.
I wonder if this contributed. Like, if someone on the fucking, on the staff was, caught wind that they were doing this, if that was, like, part of the reason they got all uppity. Because there's no way they just made the fucking title sequence, like, before that happened, right?
I'm not sure the timeline because since it's AI art, they could just shit it out within a week.
You're right.
It could be anything. What I do know is I don't think I'll watch the series, not because of AI art, but because I was so underwhelmed by the first episode. To not spoil it. Did you watch the first episode?
I'm not going
Okay.
to.
To spoil it, it's a lot of sitting around and talking about the scrolls are coming. And I was like, can you guys, like, fight more or, like, be in more colorful places besides dark gray areas?
Yeah, I saw online that the guy that directed it, or the writer, or someone really involved in this, apparently was directed by Disney not to read the comic that it's based on.
Which is weird, because Kevin Feige encouraged that early on in the MCU.
Yeah, to be fair, too, like, I'm the fucking, I'm the local comic boy in this podcast.
A local comic boy giving his opinion right now.
Hello, that's just right, listen here. Fucking, the Secret Invasion is like a Marvel Universe event. Like, it's like every fucker's in it. Every Avenger, the fucking Thunderbolts, every goddamn son of a bitch they can squeeze in there is in there.
No, it reminds me of the Batman Arkham Asylum subreddit, where it's like, why doesn't Batman ask for the Justice League to help? Is he stupid?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, where was Superman during this? It's like, oh, I don't know, man. I guess they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, because as you were saying, to branch off about that, it's like, all right, we're going to see any superhero? Any CGI? Are we going to see any character show up?
Do any? Or is it just, it's literally just fucking
It's just
Samuel
Nick Fury
Jackson
and the woman from How I Met Your Mother. And a few times, I'll show it like a picture of it on screen. You know how in order to make a city look like it's foreign, you just put like some posters or you change the stop signs?
Or just make everything yellow, yeah.
They CGI'd a poster in Russian on a building, and I was like, it would have been cheaper just to print that out and tape it on the wall, And I was like, oh.
Were they looking at it in post and they're like, I don't know if this really screams Russia. Could we just put a poster in that corner?
Just make it even more Russian.
Yeah. It's not Russian until there's a poster there.
And so when watching it, it's just like, I'll just wait till a YouTuber recaps it. This feels like I can skip it and I'll be fine. You know what I mean? Which is weird to say for fucking Secret Invasion, but like, I guess it could have been a 2-parter movie series, But oh well.
It should have been a movie. Because, like, the whole point of it is, like, it calls back to, like, all these characters that have been dead. This would have been the perfect reason to have, like, just an Iron Man suit flying, and everyone's like, holy shit, it's him.
It's Screw
That would have
Iron
been
Man.
fucking insane. Yeah, fucking make Blue Iron Man. Put Blue Sonic the Hedgehog shows up. It doesn't matter. You can literally do anything with the concept. The idea is so fucking open-ended, but instead they just blew their load on Samuel Jackson and fucking, what's his name? Fucking Rhodey?
Brody?
Like,
Brody?
Isn't Rhodey in this? Fucking what's his name?
Don
Iron
Cheadle?
Man's friend.
Don
Yeah,
Cheadle's
Don
in
Cheadle.
this.
Isn't he in this or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, is he in this.
Oh God, what?
No,
What does that mean?
No, I mean, like, he's just in it. I remember watching it with some people, and I was like, hey, it's Don Cheadle. As himself. Like, he's talking to the president, and the president's like, I don't know how you know about the scrolls, actor Don Cheadle, but I'm glad you're here. That's pretty cool. But you know about this, you can debate. How does he know about the fucking aliens?
How did he get in here? Who let him in? I didn't let him in.
He's surprisingly look a lot like Iron Man's friend, War Machine.
Is he still here? Is he gone?
Have you seen Iron Man? He hasn't really been taking my calls.
Someone follow him. Make sure he left. I don't know who the fuck how did he get in? That was Don Shadow, like really him? What the fuck?
But
talking about aliens?
In things I'm more excited to watch for the pure spectacle, August 31st, the live-action One Piece. I gotta read that and answer this. August 31st, One Piece live-action comes to Netflix. What do you think of it? Think of it so far?
So I'm not a big One Piece guy. I don't know much of it. I tried watching the first few episodes, but just kind of got lost. Maybe I'm saying sacrilege here because I don't know what I'm talking about, but it looked fine to me. I thought it looks charming.
The sets look nice.
Yeah.
The character design looks nice. I know when I asked some One Piece fans, like, oh, these characters talk like MCU dialogue. This says it how they act and everything. It's like pretty cool. Judging by what I saw on Twitter and judging by how many people called the entire cast hot and sexy, I think we might get a second season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just based on that.
It looks. I like the casting is pretty good because I know I don't know the show, but I know the characters and they cast pretty good at
they
actors
look like
for
them.
it. They all seem very passionate about it too, which is you can say more than the cast for fucking Cowboy Bebop.
For live action remakes of mangas, whenever someone says who asked for this, it's like that's an open ended question. If you make a product, someone's gonna want to reboot it.
Yeah,
that's just this. This is kind of what it is.
I don't know if they're still working on it or not. I thought there was supposed to be like a Yu Yu Hakusho live action Netflix show.
Maybe.
And
I'm gonna say maybe.
Hope not. Let it die.
I do know they're remaking the Avatar: Last Airbender series in live action, and it's like, let me put it this way: when The Last of Us had a TV series or the HBO series, it boosted engagement into the video games. It reboosted from people who don't normally play video games. They thought to themselves, "Oh, this is interesting. I will look more into it." So in doing this to shoving it to Western audiences, getting people to understand or at least look more into it, as many as the people say like I won't watch, I won't support it, they're gonna watch it anyway for hate watching, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's how we got season 2 of Velma.
Yes, but no. If Velma got a second season because people who don't use Twitter, which I'm gonna say like more than 80% of the earth, they're like, oh, it's Velma, and they watched it and they liked it, but their kid was like, that's not how Velma would do this, and they're like, I don't care, I want to watch it.
Hey man, look, if people enjoy it, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple episodes, and I mean, I'm not saying it's just for the Twitter craze. It genuinely is just not a good show, in my opinion. But if you enjoy it, that's good.
I remember watching the Death Note One Piece adaptation. One Piece? Death Note Netflix. I don't know why I said fucking One Piece. Death Note Netflix live action adaptation. I thought, hey, that's pretty alright. But then he asked the guy who read the comic, and they're like, oh, I'm saying comic and manga, same thing. The guy who read the comic, and it's like, oh, this is very out of character, they would not do this, and it's like, yeah, because this is a different medium, different production team, different story.
Yeah, I would say I forget who it was. Someone I saw a video saying like how the movie's redeeming, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're watching it to see the anime or manga or whatever, you're not gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to imagine the events of Death Note happening in like modern day America and how that changes the story and how that changes how people act, it's not bad. It works pretty well. I mean, I don't like it because obviously I have something to compare it to that's like 10 times better, but for what it is, it has merit.
Well, it's in the case of why would you want something to be a perfect recreation of what you've already seen?
Yeah, then what's the point?
Then we wouldn't get shows like The Boys. The Boys is better than the comic series.
Ooh, I have opinions that I don't want to spread on that, but yeah.
Don't worry, we can talk about that more when it actually releases. You know what we actually get to talk about right now? We actually get to have a good time on? Questions! Yowie Zowie! Oh wait, we got one more thing. On Solar Opposites, they replaced Justin Roiland's voice actor.
They did it in the most like fucking sick, like 1990s sitcom method of doing it ever. It's like
he got punched in the throat. They used the voice changer. Now he's British.
The fucking voice changer gun. I saw someone tweet it out that that's what they thought it would be as a joke, and that was actually what they did. And it's I love them for it. I know they did it like with irony, like they knew what they were doing.
Well, it's lampshading
it. So fucking funny.
Bringing very much attention to it, going like, "Yep, this is a voice change now. It happens."
Yeah, it was very silly.
But anyway, so for questions, we got a lot of nice questions every Wednesday before we record on Thursday, and you're listening to this on Saturday. Isn't it interesting how time keeps moving forward? We asked people some questions.
Yeah.
One of them, speaking of time, Person lol the first probably says death. Not really a question, so we're just gonna skip it. You have to like ask something. You can't just be like death. Anyway, so Ronald7988 says UFOs. Now that's a question. They didn't end it with a period. That's open-ended. Anyway, so in Las Vegas, supposedly an alien ship crash landed in some dude's backyard, and they did catch footage of it on a Ring camera and everything, but they didn't take pictures of the aliens.
Why would you?
I mean,
they're just fucking guys flying around.
the thing is, I understand why. I mean, if I was in their shoes, I would have. But also, if I was in their shoes, I probably wouldn't have. Like, I would be shitting my pants going like, oh my, what the fuck? Oh my god, what the that's aliens? Like, I would be
this shit
too
was
petrified, you know?
I've been seeing people talking about aliens. Is that what this is all about? Because some guy made a fucking video of a UFO?
Well, it's not a video. The police were also called about the disturbance, and many locals saw the green flash of light crash land.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel for the police officers in that. And in that, because they showed the body cam footage, and they said, if you see UFOs, please don't call us.
Imagine that's like your last day of fucking work. You're about to retire, and you're like, I lived a good life.
Yeah.
And then you get called, your last call, and they're like, fucking UFOs are falling, the aliens are invading. You're like, ah, shit.
I was leaving early and calling sick. It's like, you know what? Because they said the aliens were fucking 10 foot tall, and it's like,
What?
I don't want
They
to.
saw them?
I don't want to test my bullets on that shit. I feel like, yeah,
They said they saw the fucking aliens and they were 10 feet tall?
not the police officers, but the people whose lawn they crash landed to.
That's fucking awesome. They were the fucking Monstars from Looney Tunes or whatever.
Yeah, if you're like 10 foot tall, this is for any aliens who are listening. If you're like absurdly small or absurdly tall, now obviously you won't know unless you actually go down to Earth, but like do some reconnaissance. Make sure you're not like abnormally or comically sized compared to humans. You know what I mean? So you can like wear a trench coat or something like the Teenage Mutant Turtles does. Because like 10 feet tall, I think we would notice you, Mr. Alien, Mrs. Alien. Please.
Please just all look like E.T., please.
Ugh,
That would
ball
be so
sack skin.
fucking funny.
If you saw
Yes,
that thing, would you not kill it immediately?
I'd probably kill it with hammers, yeah.
The Chaos card. Sorry, the Chaos card. The Halo show and the phenomenal video games, movie, and TV adaptations. The Halo show was underdeveloped. The people who wrote it specifically did not read the lore, nor cared about it. So it's like, oh.
All I know about the show is that there's scenes where Cortana watches Master Chief just fuck some chick. She just watches.
That is when a lot of gamers disconnected, because canonically,
Gamer talk.
Master Chief did not have sex. He's a
That's where I put
virgin.
my foot down.
They say, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm putting the remote down. I'm going to watch Velma again.
Master Chief should only be ever played by Michael Cera and no one else.
Oh yeah, in The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal was talking about how in the recent season, this is very off topic, it felt more like a voiceover gig. You know, like he's in the suit the whole time with his helmet on, and he's just like, yeah, just voicing over. Because like, if they need to reshoot a scene, they don't need to call him in. They can just get a body double and just replace his voice. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Very sad. Anyway, generic contents. There they are again. If schools should have uniforms, like schools or colleges. I'm guessing schools, like grade schools, high schools. No.
I went to a school with a uniform.
Did you like it?
I mean, you kind of just get numb to it after a while, but yeah, it sucked.
Well, how strict was it? Could you have like a pin on you, or like a sticker, or anything?
No, it was button down, vest, tie, and fucking dress pants, but they had to be the color of the school, which was just vomit green.
At least you can't get made fun of for not having the clothing. You know what I mean? Like whatever clothing is in, they're like, hey, oh, look at him wearing the uniform, the cheap version.
Nice vest, dork. I got the fucking 2017 version, dumbass. Welcome to the future.
Oh look,
dick.
Your parents didn't iron your fucking uniform, you idiot. Look how wrinkly
Time
it is.
to die.
No, I'm sure kids found a way to make fun of each other with uniforms on.
Oh yeah, we just fucking beat each other with rocks.
That's why the private schools in your area went down significantly. You used to have like 500 people in there. 100. No, it's actually 1,000. Second day, 500. You were part of the 500.
Big issue with beating people to death with rocks. We had a whole town hall meeting about stopping doing that, but it still goes on.
Yeah, the people that
Certain parts of the city.
complained were the people whose parents of the kids who died. So like it was a losing battle.
We just beat them to death with rocks.
The entire population of New York went significantly down when the school opened. Coincidentally, right next to a rock quarry.
It was somehow correlated. We don't know how yet, but it's something like that.
They also found a gas leak
That would explain the beating to death. With
10 miles
rocks.
away from the school.
Okay, yeah. Maybe
So it wasn't
not.
related at all.
No, it was actually. We just had like a big stretchy straw that goes from there to the school to the vents.
Yeah, the bus driver said, "Let's do a quick whiff," because he can't smoke, he can't do weed on the job because they drug test him. It's like, this is do a quick whiff of the gas leak. Just
Yeah, I noticed that right before every time he would drive us to school, he'd drive like a little bit out of the school, tell us to wait. He'd go to the gas tank and just like take a napkin, dab it, and then snort it, and then go right back in the bus and go like 80 miles an hour.
And they couldn't like fire him or anything, not because of any legal issues, but because he was the only guy to actually want to do the job in the area.
Yeah. This is a lot of lore I didn't expect to go into today.
Yeah, it's just
But
like, you can search it
all
up.
true.
Just look up New York gas leak, rock quarry beating to death kids.com.
And I promise you, if you do that, you'll have 2 people at your door the next day asking you questions about if you want to kill the president.
Which we don't. You'll just fall.
Please keep in like the 15 seconds of silence that we just had.
Yeah. We got one more. Pirates Rock. I like the cut of this
That's the
person's
question?
jib. No. That's just that's the username. Whose idea? I was like, I know this is not how it's like, whose wise idea was this? But it's not how it starts. Whose idea was it to name the podcast Bad Take Delete? Also, how did you guys choose your YouTube usernames? 2 questions. Cool.
Okay. Can I answer the first one?
Yeah.
I think it deserves to be said that Daft is literally the fucking lifeblood of this channel.
Oh.
He does so much goddamn work. Everything that looks nice here is all him.
That's not a username related at all.
No, the name of the I'm saying like the name of the podcast, the fucking designs, the animations, the rigs, everything is him.
Yeah, this is animated in real time.
Yeah, he's fucking doing Disney rotoscope animation. It's insane what he's doing.
My fingers are to the bone. 40 minutes of
But I'm
content.
trying to my point of saying all that is that he made the name, but like everything that you like about this podcast is from Daft. He deserves as much credit as he can get for this. I feel so bad every time I sign on to record.
Okay, so I'll actually answer the question.
I answered the question. I said,
you answered the idea of the question. Whose idea was it? But I'm sure they're also asking what does it mean or why.
Oh, okay.
Like I think
fair enough.
this okay. Thank you for the praise. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. So Bad Take Delete. Surprisingly, it was a username I thought someone took already because I was working on a different project, not a podcast with someone else, and this was one of the reserved names. And so with this, I reserved the email, the Twitter @, the Discord @, and the YouTube channel. And for that project, which isn't out yet, we went with a different name. And so when I was talking with JJ about this podcast, because the one that's previous on disbanded for extremely funny reasons.
Yeah, that's a whole can of worms there.
Yeah, it's a whole can of worms. I was looking as like, hey, wait a second. In this subcategory of pop culture animation stuff, there really isn't a podcast because literally that one died. And so I was like, hey, JJ, what do you think of this username? What do you think of this idea? And he's like, yowie zowie zippity bow. I gotta do this.
That's exactly what I said.
Specifically, and I said, all right, you're a little too sad today. What's going on? You okay? Do you want to talk about something?
I went
And so Bad Take Delete it's just like, hey, you got a bad take, delete, we shall delete. It's like the name Smosh.
That's the worst
What is it?
answer ever.
What does Smosh mean? Does it mean anything?
Nothing.
I don't know. Yep.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with your username? So does JJ.
So unfortunate as it is, people. I haven't done a video with this voice in a while, I guess,
Yeah.
so I get it. But
Your normal voice?
the solid and the profile picture both come from Solid Snake,
Oh.
because that was my initial guy. I used to do his voice all the time, and I would do it right now, but I already know it's not going to work. 'cause I'm
Well,
still
this
out
is
of
the
practice.
solid voice right here. This is the. I haven't played Metal
Solid's-
Gear in a while, so I'm sure this is his voice.
Okay, well, he sounds more like he's like a. What's something to say? My ass cheeks are clapping because I have a big ass. Like he says stuff like
I'm
that.
trying to sneak in the compound, but my
trying
ass
to
cheeks
sneak
are
around.
so loud it keeps alerting the guards.
I'm trying to ride in the submarine, but it keeps imploding.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think you did it. I'm gonna play
It's been
some
a while.
applause sound effect. It's pretty good.
Thank you. And then to put a gunshot sound effect. Shut up! Just silence all of them right there.
Noted that. Shut up!
Yes, do that, please. And then JJ is just that's actually a fun story.
Your real name,
so-
Jimmy.
No, actually, so what happened was I guess I'll just dox it. My first name is John, right?
Oh,
And
wait,
years ago,
I can't. How are they gonna narrow that down in America? John. I have a
Listen, listen.
John. I have many Johns in my family. Or do I?
well, I'm not gonna dox myself all the way, but so I'm in this group chat with people, and we're like comic book nerds or whatever, and we all are like 12 and 13 on Kick Messenger. For those who don't know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of interesting characters on that place. But The whole point of it is we're on there and we're all like, guys, we gotta be safe about our identities. We're gonna have to come up with names.
This is
So
how
I'm
they
like,
talk
all right.
back then. They talk
Yeah,
like
this is how everyone
1960s
talks.
businessmen.
We have to figure out. We have to figure out what to do. And so I'm like, all right, I'll just be Logan, like Wolverine, because he's my favorite at the time. And they're like, that's taken by some rich Turkish guy who's actually the son of a millionaire.
Interesting.
All right.
He's fucking the son of a
That-
millionaire, or he's the millionaire.
Could be both.
Interesting.
But they so I'm like, all right, fine, let's just shorten my name to Jay. Right? Already taken by another guy named John. I'm like, fuck. Those are like the only two options in the world. What do I do now?
Like Homer J. Simpson, like J-A-Y.
Just Jay. Just Jay, nothing.
Goddamn.
So then some fucking guy I don't remember his name. I wish I did, because obviously I owe him a lot of things. But he just said, what if we just double that shit and do JJ? And I'm like, that's so fucking stupid. That's so stupid. And it's been like 10 years, and that's my name. Like before this account, that was my nickname on like Steam and shit and everywhere.
And for my username, a friend of mine actually asked me recently, how'd you get username? And I responded with, I don't fucking remember.
I'm so glad you went next. I'm so glad I went first. That's perfect. Just, I don't fucking know.
I do like Daft Punk, and I like the taste of pineapple, because peanut translates the pineapple, it translates the skin of a pineapple. It would be very specific, very hyperbug, intuitive, anal. If you would be very anal about it. But, yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the exact reason. But
Where'd you come up with your name, Pirates Rock? Let me guess, you like pirates, huh?
it's actually a pretty sick username.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like, Pirates Rock. I'm not going to click on the channel. I don't want to know how old that username is, because I don't want to be disappointed. But I hope it's like
2
one of the
minutes old.
oldest accounts known to man. Pirates Rock.
This is made in 2006.
That's it for tonight. The podcast.
All right.
Thank you for listening, for watching, for sneezing, for slurping, for shitting. Anything you were
For
doing during the podcast. It helped us, I guess.
And we see it and we know that you did it.
Yeah, we're actually looking at your screen right now. Everything that you do. Even you, Jacob. Stop looking at that. Stop.
Jacob, knock it off.
Knock it off. Goodbye.